I quietly canceled the 7 a.m. wake-up calls I'd given my wife for 8 years the day she told her book club she runs this house alone. She missed her own mother's flight. So for some context, my wife Sandra has never been a morning person, like not even a little. She can set 4 alarms and sleep through all of them, and she's known this about herself since before I met her. When we first got married, she'd miss stuff constantly, early meetings, a dentist appointment she'd rescheduled twice, a brunch with her sister that she slept right through and then blamed on traffic. So about 8 years ago, I just started waking her up. Every single morning at 7 a.m., I'd go in, turn on the lamp on her side, say her name a couple times, wait for her to actually respond. Not just the where she's still half asleep, but actually say something coherent back to me. That was my rule for myself. I didn't leave until she was conscious. It became just part of our routine. I'd already be up, already have coffee going, and I'd do the Sandra wake up as part of my morning loop. She'd come downstairs 20 minutes later and never really mentioned it. I didn't need her to. I'm just wired that way. I see a gap, I fill it. About 3 months ago, Sandra joined this book club with a few women from her neighborhood walking group. I thought it seemed nice, honestly. She came home from the second meeting talking more than she had in weeks. The women seemed like fun. She'd stay out until like 10:30, come back happy, and I'd already be half asleep on the couch. Fine, good for her. Then one Thursday night I couldn't sleep. I came down for water around 11:15, and Sandra had just gotten home. She was still a little giddy, putting her jacket away, and she didn't hear me on the stairs. She was on the phone with one of the women from the group, still kind of winding down, and I heard her say, "This is pretty much word for word," because I stood there for a second. Honestly, I don't know how I do it. I basically run this house alone. Mark works, sure, but all the day-to-day stuff, that's me. I keep everything moving. I stood in the kitchen doorway for a second. Then I got my water and went back upstairs. I want to be clear that I didn't blow up. I didn't say anything that night. I didn't bring it up the next day either. I just lay there thinking about it for a while, and somewhere in that thinking I decided I was going to stop waking her up. That was it. No announcement, no conversation. I just stopped. The first morning she was only about 12 minutes late to something, a hair appointment I think. She seemed a little frazzled but didn't connect it to anything. The second week she missed a call she'd been waiting on from a contractor about the bathroom renovation. She'd specifically told him to call at 8 a.m. because she'd be up. She wasn't. She called me a little annoyed that afternoon and said she'd missed it. I said that was too bad. She started setting her own alarms after that. Sometimes she made them, sometimes she didn't. I stayed out of it completely. Then her mom came to visit. Her mother lives in Phoenix. She's in her early 70s and doesn't love flying, so the visits aren't super frequent. Sandra had arranged the whole thing, had the pickup time written on the whiteboard in the kitchen for 2 weeks. Flight arriving at 9:40 a.m. Sandra needed to leave by 8:30 at the latest. I was already at work when Sandra texted me at 9:52 that morning. It just said, "I overslept. Mom's at the airport. I'm on my way, but she landed 20 minutes ago. She's waiting at baggage claim alone. Her mother is a sweet woman who does not do well with disruption." I texted back, "That's rough. Hope you make good time." Sandra got there about 40 minutes after the flight landed. Her mom had been sitting on her suitcase by the baggage carousel for half an hour. Sandra called me that night and was upset at herself, I think, but also kind of spinning it into a general complaint about having too much on her plate. She said she just can't function without some kind of external cue in the morning. I said, "Yeah, mornings are hard." She said, "I just wish someone had thought to wake me up." I said, "I used to do that, actually." There was a pause. "What do you mean you used to?" "I did it every day for about 8 years. Stopped a few months ago." She was quiet for a second. "Why?" "Heard you tell someone you run this house alone. Figured you had it." She hasn't asked me to wake her up again. She's been setting 6 alarms.